Welcome 9th grade children. Today I welcome you all to the history class for the prehistoric period. I welcome you all to the Z Learning platform. Welcome. Today let's see the first topic, human evolution and migration. Human evolution in the sense you all know humans were evolved from the great apes. Yes, from the apes we have evolved to the modern human society. So let's see what are the prehistoric records and the facts what we are going to learn today through all the Paleolithic facts and Mesolithic facts. Everything we go through in this lesson. Let's see what it is. Now the first thing is they are giving the definition for the great apes. Who are all called great apes? You can see it's chimpanzee, gorillas, orangutans and humans are included in great apes. So we all belong to one family, and from this great apes only this modern human have evolved. Chimpanzee is genetically closest to, so when we find the DNAs of these animals, that is gorillas, chimpanzee, orangutans, only it's chimpanzee's DNA or genetical samples are being closely relating to the humans. So from that record they have evolved, or they have finalized that humans have evolved from the great apes. Then hominins are ancestors to humans. So they resemble like humans but not exactly in that form, but they will be standing erect and they don't have that much of bend like what the great apes have. So like that. Then skeletons of Australopithecus found in Africa. The first thing is the records are saying that the first human or the evolution of the human starts from the Africa, have started from Africa, and many records are giving that from Africa humans have migrated to other continents such as Asia and other continents. From there only human life have started on the earth. Now the basic records we get from Great Rift Valley in Africa, which has many sites that have evidence of prehistoric period. Prehistoric period is the basic period for the human beings. So that historic period and the human evolution, the seed of the human evolution has been found in Africa, especially Great Rift Valley in Africa. Hope you understood this, and you can see the one of the picture given here, early hominins. That is how the early human beings, that is our ancestors, the first start of the ancestors, how they were. Their DNA and our DNA are closely matching together. So we have evolved from this hominins. Okay. The next slide you can see a beautiful picture as how they are being evolved. This is the picture or the structure of the apes, and only when we call them as hominins is because they stand erect and there are certain developments after that. So finally when they discover certain implements and tools, so culture change, everything, when that advancement in the cognitive development, everything brings them to the modern man. So let's see few important terms here. Hominid refers to all the species of the modern and extinct great apes, including human. So including human and all the other species, now they are not existing certain species. So those species included together are called, so the great apes are called as hominid. Okay, then hominins are close relatives of human ancestors. These are the human ancestors and they are called to be the hominins. Okay, and the sister species including Homo sapiens. We are generally called as Homo sapiens. That is, we are being called as human beings. Human beings in the biological term, it's said to be Homo sapiens, and extinct members of Homo neanderthalensis, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, Australopithecines. Yes, these all come under the sister species. Okay, so the main species is hominins and the sister species are, these are the sister species. And each name has a different meaning. Homo sapiens are that is the modern human beings. The Neanderthalensis, they give a proper burial to the human being and they mourn about them. Then Homo erectus is, you can see here, they stand erect. Okay, they walk erect, that is development of the backbone. That shows that. So when that change in the evolution shows, they are called as Homo erectus. And Homo habilis is, they have that handy weapons, that is like stone tools and implements, everything. And Australopithecines, they are closely related to the apes. Now, humans only living species of this tribe. Now, we are the only people, we are just existing of this species. We have been evolved and we have been existing. So, that's what is said in the historic introduction. Okay, let's see in the next slide. You can see Homo erectus, the upright man. Okay, the picture is given here. The change is here. You can see all certain features have been resembling here. Now, Homo habilis is handy humans. Okay, already I said the earliest known ancestor to make tools in Africa 2.6 million years ago. Around this time period, Homo habilis were found on the earth, and what they did is they started hunting. They know how to use for the search for the food, how to produce food in the sense how to hunt the animals and how to use the tools. For hunting animals, they were in need of certain tools, and that tools were started. They were started making from the rocks and the stones, and they were able to shape the tools, make different kinds of tools. We'll see in the later slides, following slides. And the next term is Homo erectus or eragster, made hand axes between 2 and 1 million years ago. Okay, so they are making hand axes, but here stone implements, but here just hand axes is a little more advancement in the Stone Age tools. And Homo sapiens, or modern humans, appeared around 3 lakh years ago in Africa. So from Africa, this Homo sapiens are evolving, and that Homo sapiens are called to be the proper human beings. Okay. So 3 important terms are given here. Please go through it. It's very important. The next slide you can see prehistoric cultures. A simple glance through the culture, how they are, and you can see a kind of a tool what they were using at that time. You can see the stone tools will be having sharp ends in the corners, and they will be chiseled or they will be cut. Okay, they will be sharpened or they will be processed by any other means, and that sharp ends will be used to either cut or tear the flesh of the animals and for other purposes also, even for defense also. So prehistoric cultures, prehistoric period doesn't have any evidence of writing, because man started living, that is man started to become human being or the prehistoric age, and he doesn't know how to speak in a language or communicate in a language. So he doesn't have a language at that time. He produced sounds or signals or some way kind of a body language to communicate what he meant. So that time there was no chance of writing. Only certain facts from from Great Rift Valley, certain sites giving the left behind, the remains, whatever we get from that records give us the fact about the prehistoric cultures. So fossil bones, one big example is fossil bones. I said already in the previous class, I said even from a small bone they will identify what time period that particular creature or the living being was existing on the earth. They will be able to find out. In that same way, these fossil bones have given such a great data that prehistoric man was existing in the Rift Valley of Africa during this time period. Okay, so they were classified according to various species, because there will be DNA content in that, and that give different answers for our questions which we are searching for. Then Earliolithic assemblages of human ancestors. You can see earliest tool made by human was found in Kenya, Lomkevi in Kenya. Okay. Then Olduvai tools, the example is given here in Olduvai Gorge in Africa. So another tools, this kind of tool was found in Africa. Then certain other tools were found in Kenya. This was able to be found in Kenya because only through migration. Man started migrating from one continent to other continents. Then Australopithecines used hammer stones and produced sharp edged flakes. Flakes in the sense, you can see this is a kind of a round kind of a tool, but flakes is kind of a sharp and thin tool which will be able to easily tear the thick skin or the hide of the animals and the fleshes also. So this was this time period they were using sharp edged flakes also. Okay. So in the next slide we can see Lower Paleolithic culture. What is meant by Paleolithic? Paleolithic means the early phase of the prehistoric period. And Mesolithic means the later phase of the middle phase of the prehistoric period. Okay, so Paleolithic means the early phase of the prehistoric period, and we are learning about or going through the that is the first part of the historic period. So Homo habilis and Homo erectus were the people at that time in the prehistoric period. Habilis means using handy weapons, and erectus means they are standing erect, that is standing, they are having an erect backbone. Okay. Then human ancestors, you can see the tools what they have used here. Okay, human ancestors flake large stone. This is a kind of a flake, and it's having a sharp edge also. You can see this sharp edge. They'll be handling it here. They'll be catching it, and they'll be using it for hunting and other purpose. Large stone blocks and design tools, that is hand axe, dated 1.8 million years ago. For subsistence need, made hand axes and cleavers known as bifaces. Bifaces in the sense, two sides you can use it for double purpose, not for a single purpose, or one edge is not used for only single purpose. Another edge also will be used for another purpose. So they will be having bifaces. They are called as bifaces. So they have they improve the human skills. So when they started learning how to use the tools, finally they started learning to discover each and everything, how to hunt, how to do cultivation, everything that evolved from this kind of discoveries and inventions. So Acheulean first hand axes recognized at Saint-Acheuel in France. Okay, so Acheulean is kind of a tool which is given separate names. Each tools are given separate names from where they have been discovered. Okay, so first hand axes which was found in France, and bifaces is tools that have flaking on both sides. So I said this is actually a little bit bended end of the tool, but another side, if it is having the same sharp edge, or if this kind of end also, they can be used for breaking nuts, cracking the nuts, everything they can do in such a thing. So they are using such tools for double purposes. Okay, so they are called as bifaces. In the next slide, biface tool you can see here, subsistence necessities, that is what they are using these tools is for the food, for the water, even for irrigation. Yes, used sign language, no complex language skills. So I said first itself they don't have a particular language or a communication skill, just body language or signals or some kind of a means of producing sounds. Yes, that was the language they were having in the prehistoric period. Then intelligent enough to select stones as raw material and used hammer stones to flake and design rocks. Even for making a cave in order to create a shelter, because they don't know how to create a home and how to create a hut and all, doesn't know how to design it. So what they did is, first they used these kinds of flakes of tools to create or design the rocks as caves for them to have a proper shelter. Yes, and to get defense also from the animals. Hunted animals gathered roots, nuts and fruits. Even if you have to really pull out a big root from the earth, that is underground stem or underground root like tapioca, any other thing, you need such tools like this. Now we are using a spade. It's very easy and very very handy to use also, but that time they need something to dig out or dig out from the soil, that roots and other things from the earth. So they are using both for the hunting and also for the other food purposes, like taking and collecting food from the roots, nuts, everything. The next thing is Acheulean tools found near Chennai, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh. So certain tools were even found in India also. Yes, this all become because of the migration, because from Africa they migrated to Asia. So Asia continent, India is there. So we are able to find certain facts also from the Indian side also. In the next slide, you can see a picture of the thing, that is a diagram, not an exact tool. Okay, how the tools were made or implemented. So raw material naturally available, stone block or pebbles. These stone produce flake with sharp edges. So they'll select, early man was able to, or his cognitive skill was able to know what kind of a rock or what kind of a material of rock or stone will be able to be used as a tool. So he has that skill, and finally what he did is he able to produce flakes and different kinds of stone tools like these for his purposes. Then core, main block of stone from which small chips are flaked using hammer stone. So when you take a hammer or any other thing, if you go to a place where they break rocks, that is bigger rocks, into small pieces, you can see they'll keep on hammering it. When they hammer it, the big rock will be broken into small pieces, and even you can see chips and flakes of stones are produced, that is will be falling out from there. So that are taken and they are used as the tools here. So that method, that called as core, the flakes and the chips that falls out from the bigger rock pieces by hammering it or hitting it, we get it called as core. Then flake, a small chip removed from a large stone block called core. From core, what we are removing, that small chips, are called as flakes. Okay. So in the next slide you can see Middle Paleolithic culture. So after the early phase, the next phase is called as Middle Paleolithic culture. Okay, lithic technology. Lith means stone. Methods and techniques involved in production of stone tools. So lith technology, in this time period only stone tools were used. So this is called as lith technology or the lith stone. Okay, lith is called as the stone. And here the species is Homo erectus, hand axes, and what they are using is how the tools were this. It was pointed and it was using like scrapers and even short blades also, like even the small chips. When you break a rock, you can see. Okay, when you have some foundation work in your home, you can able to see when they break the rocks, small chips will be falling out from there. It will be very sharp, and if you use it, you can use it like short blades also there. Yes, and Levalloisian tools are the implements made after preparing core. That is after the core. When you select a rock, you break it, you will get a core, and that core, when it is processed or finally made into certain different tools, it is called Levalloisian. Okay, so when you prepare tools from a core, a kind of a small bigger rock, it is called as Levalloisian. Understand this term and learn this term, it's very important. You can see the early humans living in caves. Okay, and how they have learned to start making dresses also. Okay, from you can see it's a skin, hide of an animal or a skin of an animal. You can see how they are really kind of a rural setup, and time period between 3,85,000 and 1,95,000 BC, before Christ. Okay, Neanderthals, people of this period, these people are called as this Neanderthals, that is middle phase of the Paleolithic period. So these people started knowing the rituals, is not a kind of a ritual, or the procedure of burying a dead body. Okay, bury the dead people systematically. First human ancestors. Okay, they are proudly to be called as the ancestors of us, and they know to mourn and bury dead properly. So like that kind of a system. So their cognitive skills are being started developing, and they started understanding how to live in a group and the culture. So when that culture comes only, they are able to do such things, giving a proper burial to the dead body. Upper Paleolithic culture. Upper Paleolithic culture means after the phase of middle phase comes the Upper Paleolithic culture. So here improvement in tool technology. Okay, and long blades and burins were produced. People use silica rich raw material. Silica is a kind of another name for the sand, and silica rich raw materials, in the sense they are using, that is rock based items, and improvement in cognitive skills and development of language. So they started creating languages. This is not all of a sudden, not in years or months, this change is happening. After centuries. Okay, so those centuries are being termed in such names, but after centuries, that is a long time period, such kind of a development takes place in the prehistoric culture. Okay, so they have found out language, so that signals and the body language automatically turned into language. And microliths, liths already we know that liths means stone, And microliths means, micro means very small stones were taken as tools, and that appeared in this phase time period. You can see it very small. How small it is when compared to the previous pictures and the tools we saw in the previous slides. Then Burren stone made chisel with sharp cutting edge. The same thing, another name they have given, just to given another name because they were very small tools. They are very small tools. So Burren stone made chisel with sharp cutting edge. Learn this term, it's very important. In the next slide you can see humans known as Cro-Magnons lived in Europe. Now again the continent of Europe has been pointed out here, and horns and ivory we know. So they are shifting from stones towards the other things, like even they were using bones and the bones of the animals and the fish bones and even the horns and the ivory as tools, okay, and weapons for their daily purpose. So horns and ivory were used for making tools and artwork, okay, using that, and bone needles, fish hooks, harpoons and spears used. This shows that man has been developing in his cognitive skill, that shows us how much his culture has been changed. You can see in the previous slide you saw that they were wearing dresses also. Yes, they were starting using the skin hides, whatever they are hunting, that hunting animal they will be taking it for eating also, that flesh, and the skin they will be using it for their dress purpose, covering their bodies. And the next thing is humans were clothed and cooked food. They started clothing and they started cooking food also. This shows the art of that is the discovery of fire has been started here. Okay, discovery of fire has given a lot many changes, has brought a drastic change in the life of the prehistoric period. So cooked food in the sense accidentally that is how they find the discovery of fire is. Accidentally they will rub two stone tools, and finally what will happen, due to the friction, the heat, it will start producing sparks, and that sparks will be catching the dry leaves, that creates fire. When this fire has been there, man had a great defense and a protection from animals also, and even it protects him from the cold weather season. And finally when accidentally one of the flesh of the meat fell into it, he took it and tasted it. It was very tasty, and that made the invention of cooking also. Okay, so humans were clothed and cooked food, and deeds placed in the burials with folded hands over their chest. So when they do a burial, they will keep folded hands on the chest to show their respect, a kind of a respect to the dead person. And painting, so painting also were started. You can see in the previous thing, artwork was there. So in every caves you can see, when they started creating that language, some languages were seen. That is Stone Age man's language was seen in the caves, were found to be in the caves, and the paintings, their hunting, their life history, the way they live, their lifestyle, everything were collected from the caves only. Okay, so that shows painting, clay models, structures and carvings. These are the evidence which we get from the prehistoric period and shows the drastic change in the life of Stone Age man. The next thing, images of goddess Venus made of stones and bones found in Europe and Asia. In the previous class we have, in the section of the class you can see, man started worshipping sun, moon and other things as God because they were more powerful than him, and he has some kind of a fear that has some kind of a supernatural elements or some kind of a force in it to control over the earth. So he started creating images of goddess. So a kind of what to say is sculpture was started, sculpting was done here. Images of goddess Venus made of stones and bones found in Europe and Asia. So two materials are taking, one is stones and bones to create the images of God. Then Ice Age you all know, period before 8000 BC, when many parts of the world was covered completely by ice sheets and snow. And one such example only, certain facts and certain elements were preserved in this ice sheets which were left back, or which were the remains which we got later for the further study and answer to the questions for our for our time period. Okay, so this age really made a change in the life of the man and the history of the later human beings. Hope you all understood the prehistoric culture and the age and how the man species, that is human beings and Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, were evolved from the early part of the great apes. Yes, hope you understood. It's very clear, I think. Thank you. Have a nice day.